refer to the presentation that's in the packet, which parallels what's here. And also, the items are in the order that were included in the packet. I gave you a breakdown of each item, what the potential cost would be. So this presentation really follows that. What I'd like to do is go through each one of those items, give you an introduction to them, explain some of the necessity. If the chair would allow, it might be appropriate to handle questions on each one rather than going back and revisiting them when the presentation is done. The first one would be the Elder Affairs van. So you recall that this was a proposal that was put forth a year ago. It was an item that was deferred. The original request a year ago was about $39,000. You'll see that the request now is $44,075. The van was scheduled for replacement last year. It is a 2002 Ford minibus. You'll see what the purchase price was when we bought it. It was quite an expensive vehicle. It was partially offset through some grants that the town was able to secure to the tune of about $14,000. I've been informed that the vehicle has approximately 70,000, and I call them hard miles, and I have some photographs that I'd like to just circulate amongst the board. They're all different. They'll give you a good idea of the condition of the vehicle. The vehicle is in tough shape. There's significant body rot, and there's ongoing brake problems. The body rot is mainly in the undercarriage area, the area where the cab attaches to the chassis is rotting away, and there's been a history of ongoing brake problems with the van itself. The new van that's being proposed is smaller. It would be a 10-passenger van. We'll be able to accommodate 2 wheelchairs. And the gas mileage is significantly better than 7.6 miles per gallon, which is the existing vehicle's mileage. The Department of Elder Affairs believes that transportation is their priority service to residents. They do 4,200 person trips a year. That's how many people that they've had over the past year. And it's noted that there are no other sources of transportation available to the elderly of North Reading, such as the MBTA ride program, bus, or taxi service. Just to give you an idea of the condition of the vehicle. The vehicle is up on a lift right here, and what you're looking at is the bottom part of the door with the steps that individuals would step up into the vehicle. You see that door is peeled away. There's significant rust in the undercarriage area, which you really can't see very well in that picture. However, you can see it fairly well here. Again, with the body mounting was rotting away to the point that does cause us some concern with regard to safety.
Yeah, the decision to go with a smaller vehicle sort of suggests that the runs that this vehicle makes is not really fully loaded. It isn't, so a smaller vehicle isn't going to create restrictions on the service.
The vehicle is used more for short hops to and from different offices, doctor's appointments and such, versus program activities which have a tendency to gather a great number of people. And when the Department of Elder Affairs does run those social types of activities, sometimes it's best to rent a larger bus or a larger van.
The existing van is diesel.
I believe it is.
And the new one is.
I don't have the detail on what's proposed. I don't have the spec is on that here, so I don't have it.
Other questions? I assume that we would bond this.
Yes, it is something that is eligible for bond.
Next.
Second project would be improvements to the police station HVAC, heating, ventilating, and air conditioning system. The amount requested is $30,400. It would allow us to reconfigure the HVAC system for the dispatch area, 911 desk, duty sergeant, and lobby area. Presently, the air conditioning in this area is inadequate. It results in poor conditions 24/7. So it is something that happens around the clock, and it happens regardless of whether it's warm outside or cool outside. There's a constant need to cool this area because it is isolated in nature and because of the amount of equipment that's in there. The proposed work would allow us to install a new standalone air conditioner along with a compressor. It would also provide moving with a thermostat. The pictures that are here, the top right picture shows you some of the moisture. There's been a history where there's been significant buildup of moisture along some of the ducts that exist in the dispatch area. It's been reported to me that that's resulted in condensation and damaging some of the equipment. The second photograph that you see on the left-hand side shows you the thermostat. What it doesn't show you is that thermostat is located in an area that is in close proximity to a air conditioning vent. So what's happening is the air conditioning vent, the thermostat believes because of the location that there is sufficient airflow. In fact, that's not the case. The problem was discovered as I reported to the board after the building was occupied. The architect and the contractor have been notified of this deficiency. They both received a written notification from my office, and there is the possibility of cost recovery at a later date. But the goal at this point is to proceed with your approval in putting together a permanent solution that provides adequate cooling, does so at a fairly modest cost, and still leaves open the opportunity that we can recover those costs at a later date based upon the quality construction with effective design.
The question that I have regarding the design and the engineering involved with cooling that room is, are we taking into account the possibility of joint dispatch and moving additional equipment into that room? So that if in fact we move forward with that at a future date, we don't have to add additional air conditioning? Because I'm assuming that the problem there is that we've got a bunch of equipment in there generating heat, and it was overlooked associated with the overall design implementation of the HVAC system.
Your comment is 100% on, and that's the fact that the town believes it was forthright in making its presentation to the architect that this was the equipment that was going to be there. We also anticipated that there would be new equipment as we would proceed with joint dispatch, and we fully expected a system that would be designed not only to accommodate what is there today, but will be accommodated in the future. The proposed solution would not need to be modified based upon inclusion of certain equipment going forward, although the majority of what is necessary for joint dispatch is already there. It would not necessarily be a significant increase in equipment over the let's say.
Joe, and then Steve.
If I may be mistaken, but I seem to remember we were told we could not fit joint dispatch in there now.
That's what I was just gonna say
Yeah,
too.
That went away.
I have the same recollection.
Oh, nobody told me it went away, because I was told they had to take down walls and
What
everything
went
else.
away?
Well, Bob says that went away,
What went away?
that they could not fit
The
joint
issue
dispatch.
of they couldn't do it.
Oh, well, that's the last thing I heard.
That's the last thing I heard.
Last thing I heard was that they needed more room for some other equipment that they had put in, and now there was not enough room for joint dispatch.
That's what I heard too. I was a bit disturbed by the fact, because
Right,
one of
and
the goals
that
of that
question was
whole
raised,
project-
and I thought shortly thereafter it was responded to that it wasn't really gonna be a problem.
Oh,
There was a
okay.
minimal amount of equipment that
Well,
needed to be added for
If we
joint
could get a
dispatch.
clarification on that, I'd appreciate it, because
And I guess I'm asking the
my
question
recollection is the same as
is,
Joe's.
are we planning this piece of HVAC such that there's additional capacity to deal with additional equipment that might be needed in that room if we move forward with joint dispatch? I don't think we want to hear that we have to add additional equipment, at a future date. If we, in fact, end up having to pick up the tab for what appears to be an omission on the part of either the architect or the contractor. The second thing is, we had some freezing water pipe problems, I believe, in either a bathroom or restroom.
The lobby, right.
Off the lobby. Has that been squared away, and, or is that part of this?
That will be remedied by the proposal here and the location of that thermostat.
It will, because I know I've
Yeah,
walked
one
into the
problem
lobby.
needed heat, and the other, we need to remove heat.
Right.
So, if we're removing the heat and putting it in the bathroom, maybe that's okay, but
That
it
thermostat.
probably doesn't work that way.
That thermostat you see there, controls the, temperature in the lobby area as well as dispatch. The proposed solution will provide that thermostat will run the outside area, the lobby area, the bathrooms. So that would be independent of dispatch, and that would basically provide that when the lobby needs heat or needs cooling, it's independent of what's called for.
And there's adequate heating and cooling for the lobby and the
Correct. There is
bathroom.
adequate capacity in the system for that.
Any other questions? Yes.
When did your notification go out to the architect and the contractor?
We had a meeting last week. First of all, the architect was notified of the deficiency approximately a month ago. We received a letter in writing which indicated that there were certain warranty issues. This was one of probably a list of 15 to 20 items that we identified as being defects. I had a meeting last week with the project manager and the building superintendent, and it was agreed as part of that meeting that the project manager would approach the architect relative to this issue to see whether there was a willingness to share responsibility on behalf of the architect. I do not have a response to that yet. That just happened last week. But what I will do is I will report back to the board as to what the nature of those discussions will be. And that will then determine whether the town decides to go in the direction we're going. The next proposal is for completion of Phase 3, loaming and seeding of the cemetery. You'll recall, the request is for $60,000, and the $60,000 will be used to loam, seed, and delineate lots for the completion of Phase 3. The first portion of Phase 3 was voted last year at the October town meeting in the amount of $60,000. That's approximately 1.5 acres that's being developed every 2 years as part of the ongoing cemetery master plan. There are several additional phases that do need to be completed, and each of those will be brought forward and funded independently as this proposal is. But the necessity in this case is that we've already gone ahead and removed the trees, the stumps, and boulders. The next step is to ready that area for a location of grave sites. It is part of the ongoing Riverside Cemetery expansion, and for those who may be at home, it is our only active municipal cemetery that we have in town. There is also a requirement in the Massachusetts general law that each community provide for adequate burial space of its citizenry. Many communities tend to ignore that because there's a shortage of land. And in our case, we do have approximately 13 acres that can be developed going forward in the future. So this is a project really to complete Phase 3. There are, as looked at the cemetery master plan, there are 2 additional phases, Phases 4 and Phase 5, that may be coming forward in the future and will again be funded independently at each time. Questions?
Is there not money put aside from the sale of lots